that part and he lifts him up next to the ship and then drops him in the water, I was like, yo, this is like a really cool vampire movie because he can fucking float and he's biting this dude's neck. Usually you don't really see vampires being very predatory on dudes. It's usually just on girls, especially during like the 80s and stuff. It was very sexual and seduction and stuff. So to see him straight out go after a guy and like fucking kill, people like in an instant, snapping necks, cashing checks, Tom Cruise, he don't mess around, bro.
He doesn't know. He doesn't really care who you are.
Nope.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Nope. He kills indiscriminate. He says it just like God. I don't care. He's like, I am a god. That's probably why he really loved the role for reals. And I can see why Anne Rice was kind of hesitant because, I mean, what did he do before that?
Fucking Maverick.
Yeah, and what's the bartender one?
Cocktail.
Yeah, dude, and fucking not striptease, not Footloose. What's the one? Strictly Business.
Yeah,
risky business. Yeah, I can see why she's like, I don't want this motherfucker being a vampire.
Yeah, concerned over that.
Yeah, I wonder who she thought would have been a good role for Lestat.
I know she had said
Fabio.
Interestingly enough, one of them for Lestat was she envisioned Brad Pitt. One of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's a few other names. They kind of escape me right now. But
Leo.
No, because he was too young. Probably too young at the time, I think.
Lorenzo Lamas.
Oh yeah.
I won't say the one I was gonna because it's a swan fact. I don't want to kill it.
Okay, then don't. Just refer to it when you go back to that swan fact.
Yeah. But going back to my thoughts on the film one more time, I just think it did something different. It was this kind of polished gothic horror film.
Yes.
At a time when horror films were kind of looked down upon, because this was pre-Scream, Scream resurrected horror.
Yeah.
Back in 96, you know what I mean?
It kind of kick-started it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like a soft drink, more emotional, dramatic vampire than anything, And it had this...
Yeah.
It had this, like, cool appeal to, like, the modern... Like I said, it was like a modern vampire tale where you can see how the vampire would be living in the 90s, Or kind of more modern, and how he was kind of going back and forth in time and stuff I really liked. But you're right, Wesley, it was kind of like the Kickstarter for, like, horror films back then.
Like, to not... Because all of those movies that we got before then were done on shoestring budgets, you know what I mean? Nobody was willing to take a risk. And David Geffen, for whatever reason, was like, let's do this. And that's why, because he funded it, that's why we're able to get this film, you know what I mean? Which has probably influenced vampire mythos, like, all the way down the line to now. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this movie stays because of how it's showing how vampires lurking among us for hundreds of years. You know what I mean?
It can be
it makes it timeless in a sense, and I think that's ingenious. You know what I mean? It's a good movie, and let's talk about how gory it really is. Like, it feels for like all the actors and kind of A-listers that are in it, it's pretty like kind of vulgar in a lot of ways. It could be offensive, to people.
Very taboo for sure. The fact that they had, I don't even know how old she is. She was 12-year-old Kirsten Dunst.
Yes.
How old? She was 12 or 11.
She's supposed to be 11 in the story, but she's 12. I'm assuming because she had to do all this bad shit on camera.
She was fucking amazing the first time I experienced Claudia the vampire, because she was rude. She didn't fucking care. She was this little...
She was ruthless.
Yeah, she was this little character, just like Louis says, that matched the bloodlust of Lestat. She was like the prodigy like perfect because she was a child. She wanted more. She wanted, and for Kirsten Dunst to do this is like one of her first like major, films with all these big stars and shit. I feel like she kind of took the show, especially when she was pissed off that she couldn't grow up. She was that.
Yeah, to be a child star and be able to bring that level of acting to the table so young is incredible. To keep your composure, to have your first kiss technically with Brad Pitt when he's 30 years old, that's fucking nuts.
In a coffin. And if I cut my hair again, it'll grow back again. Then it is true. I hate you both. Like, it's just very, something about it is very Shakespearean to me, like I can go back and forth in the dialogue of this movie and just get lost in it because you wouldn't want to watch this movie with me because I would sit there and recite the whole fucking movie for sure. But that's how much it just kind of impacted me on what my ideal vampire was because A, I was a teenager, and B, it was so real to me that all I knew was the comical vampire. It was either comical or really fucking scary vampire. There was no medium for me, And when I say really scary vampire, like fucking like Sleepwalk type shit, like you would see the B-rate films of like a Toxic Avenger vampire or some shit like that. But this was like you said, it could be the dude next door. It could be the guy in the room next to us. You don't know. I
love how Brad Pitt, when Christian Slater's asking him, when I think he says, Brad Pitt mentions that he knew he was watching him.
Yeah.
Like in an alley, and he's like, "Yeah, I could have killed you back then." He's like, "But I didn't want to." I just thought that was really cool, and it had to go. It went along with Louis' character because you can he's still conflicted with
very sympathetic.
How he has to stay alive, or to his hunger, feed his hunger basically, but he doesn't want to.
That's why he's so fucking pissed off at the end when he's like, "Have you learned nothing? Have you not been listening to what I'm saying?" Yeah,
because the reporter or Slater's character is just like, "Yo, like you came here because you wanted to recruit me."
Yeah. He's like, you're not listening, bro.
Yeah, you're just like, you did not learn, like I failed again.
Yep.
And then he threatens him, basically to scare him off.
Do you like to be food?
Just fucking shoves him into the ceiling.
Yeah, I see, and that was another thing when I seen that type of force and like, kind of like you see this person and it's not over the top of, obnoxious vampire powers. It's like a real person, just his eyes are fucking white and his nails are really longer because he's fucking
he's a little veiny.
Yeah, he's pissed off because you're fucking with him. So in order to turn that off and on, I think Brad Pitt did that really well, dude. Especially when he freaks out on Lestat and he's like, kill me. He's like, you can't kill me. And they're like running back and forth and like...
Oh, by the trees?
By the trees, yeah, because he's like frustrated that he can't kill him or he can't die. And he's like laughing at him. He's like, you can't kill me, Louis. Like,
What's funny about that is that they say they're immortal, but you actually can kill them. Like if you decapitate them or
dismember them.
Like he does with the scythe towards
Santiago.
the end of the film.
Yeah. Poor guy, dude. He gets fucking chopped in half. That's another gory part, dude. Like, really bad.
When I was thinking about that, I was like, why did he do... Like, why did he try to charge him with that big-ass weapon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he comes out, like, pretty smart. And then he, like, he teleports, but then he just teleports next to him and just... Like,
spins around
with ease, I'm just like, damn.
It was almost like them showing like, hey, when Louis pissed, like he'll
take you out.
Yeah, he's like a really precise vampire, So, quick side note, James, if this was redone in modern age, it would be called A Podcast with a Vampire.
Oh yeah.
Instead of fucking Interview with a Vampire, I was noticing that. I was telling Wesley because he uses like a little tape recorder, you know, and I think
that Iowa one, right?
Yeah, I think that's really, really an awesome concept because he's kind of telling the story, so it's a big flashback, so you kind of get what Louis has been through, you know, and he even like sheds a tear, he cries, he has all these emotions, so it shows you that he's more human than vampire. He's still really complex on what he's wanting to do. He's not going to age, so he's going to be there, you know, till forever.
Yeah, he somehow retained his humanity through so many years, and the shifts and the generational shifts and everything. I can only imagine how that would impact somebody. You know, you go fucking
so
nuts.
fast, dude.
Yeah.
Especially for the modern age, when he starts talking about how he started watching cinema in black and white, and then he goes to the color, and then it shows him watching like all of these. He's like a cinephile, so going to movies alone and shit. I can only imagine all of the stuff. You know, he survived Abraham Lincoln. You know,
just being around for all of these big history moments in history, and it's never going to stop.
Tupac, Biggie, all of those, dude. He witnessed everything, dude. So I can get where he's like fucking over it. Like he's just, you know, at the end when he's like, you know, have you learned nothing? What am I going to do? So that was like his kind of like cry to society. Like, yes, we are real people. We are out there. We will kill you. Listen to what I have to say. What is your favorite part in the movie, Wes? Or let's say this: who is your favorite character out of all the main ones?
Oh, that's hard. That's an interesting question. I might go with Claudia.
Dang.
Claudia was she's fun to watch. And I really love her kind of backstory where, you know, she lost her mother to the plague.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had possibly had the plague too.
She did. She had plague on... Yeah, so she was going to die as well.
So Lestat kind of gives her the choice.
Which makes sense now that you said Anne Rice lost her 15-year-old daughter?
To lymphoma, I think.
That's crazy. So it makes sense, you know?
I think her daughter was only 5.
Oh, 5?
Yes.
Jeez.
Oh God.
Which is why I think in the books the kid Claudia's only 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the book Interview with the Vampire.
The novels. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I you know what? It's a hard toss up between Claudia and Lestat, only because
Lestat.
Yeah, Lestat list. Only because it's Tom fucking Cruise, and you can see his kind of like character and his real, like, you know, it's Tom Cruise playing this dude who's a fucking vampire who's Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying? Like
Scientology.
Yeah, like he's fucking Tom Cruise is a real vampire playing a human playing a vampire. You know what I'm saying? Like it's its own inception. So for him to be that kind of like demanding and be on point, he was doing his best because of what Anne Rice said, and I think it really brought out his performance. Like he was a fucking... I think, you know what? I want to go and be as bold as saying that he adopted this role and kind of took that from then on to be that type of A1 fucking actor for everything. Like, I feel like this pushed him to be like, yo, if there's a director and a screenwriter, book writer that I proved wrong in this epic film, Interview with the Vampire, like, it's... what else can I show you than this? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's out there saying, I'm calling my shot. I'm going to fucking hit a grand slam, home run, breakdance, touchdown, all of that. because I'm fucking Tom fucking Cruise, bro.